Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Awakening Mastery video series. The Awakening video series is actually meant to help us realign to our true self, to help us in the ascension process that most of us are already going through. In this specific video, I'm going to talk about the evidence that is compelling that you have right here in front of you. The clues to your true awakening are already present and here. So if you haven't watched the previous videos until this one, please do so now, because the information that I give depends one upon the other. And I need to know that when I'm talking about duality, for example, you know what I'm explaining. So all this and more in the coming video. So stay tuned. Awakening, or the ascension process, is not about the world around us that is changing. It's actually about our own vibration that is changing, and everything around us, as our perspective changes, everything around us seems to change as well. You'll probably notice that things that are going around internally, in your mind, in your body, are actually reflecting back to you from reality. In other words, whatever is going on in yourself, in your mind, if you are capable of violence, if you are capable of negative thoughts, you will see them as they project from the outside world. There's many wise people that said before me that heaven is already here. Heaven is here, and we need to just open our eyes and see it. In other words, heaven is the perspective. So when we are talking about the 5D experiences, for example, we're talking about people who are already here with us, but have achieved a wiser point of view, a higher vibration. And when we're talking about the clues, what I'm actually telling you is that everything that you need for your next step, and don't try to see beyond the next step. If you see the previous video, I talked quite a lot about the questions that you shouldn't be asking or you should avoid, because everything is right here in your little box of toys. Now, imagine that you were born with a specific quality. For example, I'm 6'4". I never played basketball. I played a little bit of tennis. Why is Ray tall? Did you know that statistically, people who are taller get a higher wager? In other words, they get a higher salary than others, better compensation. And if you understand that, and again, they made surveys about this, you will understand that the reason for that, it's not that they're smarter, it is the way that people treat them as if they are already their managers. And because people treat them like they should manage them or they should be the bosses, they eventually feel it about themselves, and then they step into that role. So why am I tall? Why do I have this crazy hair? Why can I explain complicated or sophisticated spiritual information and simplify it using day-to-day examples? What are these gifts? What are they telling me? What should I do with them? So for many years in my life, I've ignored them, like you are probably ignoring some of the gifts that you have right now, things that you haven't actually used, although they are in your arsenal, they are in your toy box, okay? Now, when I'm saying that you shouldn't look for anything that is outside, and again, like in the previous video, it's not for this moment in time. You do not need that information for this moment in time. And if you look back 10 years ago, you will probably know that then you were asking different questions that again you didn't get the answers for, and your life actually took you in a completely different route to the completely different person or to a completely different job than what you actually expected it to take you. So when you are asking, what do I have right now in front of me? For example, what do I have right now in my life that excites me? What can I do with that? For me right now, I'm on the verge of opening a new business, an hyperbaric chamber business, because I want to bring it out to the masses so people will understand and become more healthy or treat different illnesses and stuff like that. That excites me right now. But before that, I wasn't excited about that. And before that, I had different decisions. Before that, it wasn't even open. I didn't even know about it. But what happened is that the clues that I kept seeing, I saw a specific article, and then I went to Ecuador to teach a retreat, and then they had a hyperbaric chamber there. And then I went to lecture in a place of people that are healing from cancer in order to motivate them and help them. And some guy took me to the side and told me that he's opening a business that has to do with that. So all these clues just brought me to the knowing that this is something that I need to do. And then the next thing I did is actually, I'm a student of Bashar for almost 15 years now. And what Bashar teaches you is to follow your highest excitement in every friggin' moment. okay? That means I wake up in the morning, I pre-planned my day most of the time, so I know what I need to do. If I'm not excited about something, I let go. If I'm going to the gym, and I usually go to the gym for about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, I do half an hour of running and then half an hour of some weight training and stuff like that. If in the middle of my exercise, I notice that I'm not excited about it and I'm starting to think about when am I going to go back home, I let go of whatever it is that I'm doing right now and I leave. And that is about persistence. That is about training your mind to do whatever it is that excites you. I've been postponing these videos for almost 2 weeks now. Every day I told myself, tomorrow I should do it, tomorrow I should do it. I need to get the editing team on it. I need to do so many different things, but I didn't really feel like I'm excited about that. So the clues are already around us to what our next step is. And it's always there. If you don't know what your next step is, just wait. Wait, because everything, the timeline has to align around you because you are affected by other people, you're affected by other things that are happening around you. Wait, and you will see that eventually something will occur. You can wait sometimes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. If you remember time that you were alone in your life, times between relationships or between jobs, those are the times that you're waiting. But something is going to happen. And that's what you should know. It's beyond the corner. It's in the horizon. You can see it. It's already here. And when you follow the highest excitement, it opens you up to the next highest excitement, and the next highest excitement, and the next highest excitement. If you want the metaphor, think about it that you're climbing a mountain. And when you're climbing a mountain, you think that you see the peak. And when you get to that point, you pulled yourself up, you understand now that this is not actually the peak. The peak is actually higher. You can now see it even more. And then the next step that you go to is that peak, the second peak that you thought that is going to be the peak, but again, it's not the peak. And that's following your excitements. That's following the clues that are already in front of you. So ask yourself, what qualities do I already have in my life that I'm not using? What are the things around me that I might be doing wrong and that is actually keeping me where I am right now? Like Einstein said, you cannot expect a result to change if you're doing exactly the same actions. So what am I doing that is repetitive? What are my mental filters that are stopping me from moving to my next point? For example, many people don't like the way they look. They want to have a diet, they want to lose some weight, they want to add some muscle mass. What am I doing wrong? Am I doing that? Am I still thinking about it? Am I accepting myself as I am? If I'm accepting myself as I am, forget about what I just said. But if you're still thinking about, I can do better, or I should exercise a few times a week, why am I not doing that? What has stopped me until now from doing that? Have I found the right type of sport that I really enjoy? Am I excited about this? Am I excited about being healthy or losing a few pounds? Am I excited about breathing deeply? All these things are the clues that you have right now. And when you solve that thing, you're going to move to the next thing, and then to the next thing, and then to the next thing. That's the amazing part. It's sort of like what Tony Robbins said. Once you get into that high vibration, and for me, it's that following the path of excitement, whatever it is that I really, really enjoy, everything around you synchronizes and aligns to it aligns to your will. Now, I started this video by telling you that the clues are already around you. Sometimes we are resisting those clues. Sometimes we are resisting our destiny. And let me tell you my own story of what happened to me, and you can self-reflect and see if this happens in your life. About 6 or 7 years ago, I started my journey, or you can say my deeper spiritual journey, by doing a Breatharian initiation. After that, I really didn't want to talk about it. I was 6 months on just liquids. I drank just very, very little. I wasn't that strong. I didn't want to be with ladies. I didn't want to hang around with people. I wanted to go inside. I wanted to be like a monk for a while. And what I saw from the outside, the clues that I wasn't listening to, is that people started asking me about that. I understood that there is a great awakening that is actually happening. And people started asking me all these questions. And, on an individual level, I answered them. But a few people invited me to give a lecture. And I said, no. Because I'm the type of person, I'm a computer programmer. And computer programmers usually don't go out of their shell. I just said, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to put a website up. People that want to learn the information, it's their responsibility. It's their individual choices that they should investigate by themselves. But again, people invited me to lecture, and I understood that there's something there. But I was resisting it. Why? Because my mind told me that this is the type of character that I have, and I shouldn't actually talk. It's not that I'm afraid of talking in front of other people. It's just that I didn't think I had the quality, and I didn't really think that I have anything really deep to share. The first time that I stepped up, and it was in front of an audience about 30 or 40 people, the two things happened. I started noticing I talked for 2 hours straight. Time disappeared completely, the temperature of my body rose, and I felt great. I felt like when I'm making these videos. I felt like this is what I should be doing. This is the clues that I should have been following. And then everything started synchronizing around me. Before that, I was resisting. You can say resisting the call. You can say resisting your higher guidance, your destiny, because everything around you is showing you that the clues to what you need are right here in front of you. They always have been, and you've been ignoring them time after time. This is what you need for your awakening. This is what you need for your ascension. You are playing a game, okay? And you haven't defeated the master of this level yet. You have defeated many different masters before, but now it's time to defeat the master of this stage. So what is this stage trying to tell you? What is this stage trying to teach you that you are not learning, and thus you are waiting and you are stuck? So back to my story. Before that, when I was resisting my higher guidance, when I was resisting the call, nothing aligned in my life. Not money, not a job, not my relationship. I had struggles with my faith in my path. I had struggles with some family and other things like that. Now, when I took the stage, when I took the challenge, what I thought was a challenge for me, which was standing in front of people, explaining about this, lecturing about it, opening programs and initiations and making it something bigger and becoming one of, I think, the most known breatharians, I think, right now in the world. Not that there's a lot of us right now, you know. When I did that, everything started aligning. And I took the challenge of that level. I defeated the master of that level, which again was myself, was my ego. And when I defeated that, I let go of the mind that wanted to know things that are beyond. I focused on what's exactly in front of me, okay? And things started aligning. Synchronicity started happening. My job became better. I opened another job. I started running processes. My relationship started becoming better. You know, I started dating an amazing Australian girl back in the day. And then I met my future wife. And all these things started happening. So again, all of that stuff happens when I'm focused on what I have in front of me. The clues to our ascension, the clues to your ascension are right here in front of you. They always have been. Start asking the right questions. What level am I playing at? Am I patient enough with my children or with my spouse? Am I loving enough to my body? Am I a happy person? Can I go to the next level being who I am right now? And if not, what should I improve in myself? The only competition you should have is with your potential self. There's absolutely nothing around you. This whole world is a made-up world for our adventure, our excursion into what we are not, so we can learn much more what we truly are, which is divinity, which is light, which is creation, which is God. And this is God's challenge for us. This is creation, the universe's drama for us as we are learning and walking the path of what we are not, so we can relearn what we are. Challenge yourself. Who in this level is the master that you need to defeat? What is holding you back? Namaste, my friends, and I will see you in my next video.